Now, what's happening, everyone, and welcome to one of two editions of the NCAA Football Throwdown Podcast this week. Yes, that's right. It's Wednesday, August 27th, and today I'm covering the Thursday and Friday games that I like. And since after reading through all my notes and thinking about everything I want to say, this show's going to have to be part one of two this week because on Friday before noon, I will have another show for all the Saturday games because it's a wonderful slate of college football games on Saturday, baby. We now interrupt this marriage to bring you football season. And if you don't have that plaque posted on your man cave somewhere with NCAA football and NFL football come back, are you kidding me? Should I give you a come on, man? That's the best plaque that I can put up every year. It went up last week with for the official week 0 of college football, but now it's week 1, and there's a plethora of college football games. So what we're going to do is ring the bell, chop up some August 28th and August 29th games that you'll be betting on this week. Hey, I said ring the bell! The bell means that you know it's time to turn it on, baby. Let's start with the Thursday night action. And there are essentially 8 FBS games and a few games with FBS facing FCS opponents, which I still don't get. No FBS team should have an FCS team on your schedule. I don't care if you're Conference USA or especially a Power 5 program. What? Like, what would a Power 5 program do with two FCS? There's a couple of SEC teams that actually have FCS programs on it. Okay. Anyway, man, give me a break. Even the Delaware game this week is okay. Now that Delaware moves to the FBS level, let's schedule our old rival this year. Man, of course, Delaware has always pounded the Hornets, like 11-0 all-time record against them. They're like 4 touchdown favorites. It should be in the alternate game section, I assume, in case you didn't catch the former Pro Bowl wide receiver Deshaun Jackson is the Hornets head coach. Man, I don't think I would have known that had I not started looking into this game a little bit. But, I will say that the 54.5 total might come crashing down somehow. They're going to score some points over there. It's either the over or leave that game alone. Okay, let's stay away from any of the other games involving any FCS programs. We'll jump to Tampa. Why not jump to Tampa? Because, hey, Boise State and South Florida game? Okay. Okay, Byron Brown is back after making only 5 starts last year, losing his season to that injury. So he's ready to get back on the field and be an impact player this year. They lost a lot in that backfield, though. Joyner's gone, Wright and Keith are gone. They like to call it 3-headed monsters. They're all gone. So the transfer portal is a big place for Alex Golesh to go find Carter Norton. I mean, Canavians Norton is going to play some ball over there. Came over from Charlotte. There's a few other guys who can hopefully do something behind that big offensive line that has 115 combined starts. Yo, it's a bunch of starts for your offensive line to bring back. And, of course, Boise is expected to win the Mountain West this year. Ken Maddox Masson lead them the way at 3,000 passing yards last year in the Fiesta Bowl. Of course, Penn State said, nope, go home. But, let's not forget they only lost to Oregon going into that whole playoff scenario last year. Then Penn State, of course, in the playoff, and accumulate that 12-2 record in the season go where they had plenty back. And they're trying to at least duplicate that regular season. Matt Lauder returned for his senior year at tight end, first team Mountain West. Big boy, catching some footballs, doing some blocking. Chris Marshall and Trell Capels should be able to contribute something to that offense on catching some balls and doing some damage. Boise State has 100 starts on their offensive line too. So, it's opening weekend. I was looking around at this whole USF Boise sites just to make sure that who's back and make sure everybody I expect to be back is back. And I usually don't read anybody else's game previews because I just don't really care what anybody else has to say or what they expect to have happen. But the words "high scoring affair" are expected. I saw that in a couple of things where I didn't open the links, but I saw like in the subject title it said high scoring affair expected, something, something verbiage like that. And I didn't, like I said, I didn't open any of them. I just assumed and figured, okay, those guys expect points. Yeah, yeah, I got that. 63, man, that's up there. Boise by 6, almost a touchdown is strange because it can't be a 6-point game when that clock runs out of time. There was plenty of high scoring affairs last year for the Bulls. Why not expect something similar to get the year started with Boise State in town? About 70 something, man. This could be a 45-31 game easily to me. So I will call for a game in the 70s, and I'm going to have to agree with them. And not the people that I read, but at least I'll agree that this could be a high scoring affair. I agree. So, yeah, over with Boise in South Florida 63. And this one's going to take about 5 seconds to give away what I like here because if Rutgers scores 42 points or more, and that total is 48 and a half, okay, okay, then Parker Navarro is going to put points on the board for the Bobcats. I'm looking at a 45-19 game. I'm looking at a 45-19 game, Rutgers. You're playing the over, please. And if you listen to my team total show, this open the throwdown segments, I mentioned that we have a rematch between East Carolina and NC State from last year's Military Bowl game starting off the year. A game that the Pirates won 26-21 as 7-point underdogs, and today we're getting twice as many points. Plus 14 plus money. Man. Kattenhauser, man, even posted he doesn't want to let anybody think that Military Bowl win was some kind of fluke. You can see it. That's what the man said. And there's only one way to prove that it wasn't a fluke. On the field, opening week of the season, baby, here we go. 34th meeting between East Carolina and NC State. But, man, the Wolfpack are 0-3 covering the line to open the year. Last year, they were by 32 against FCS team West Carolina. Now, how about only winning by 17? And didn't come close to covering that. They're favored by 20 over La Tech a year ago, 2 years ago, and then, 10-point game. They were favored by 14 over UConn to start the 2023 campaign, and they only won by 10. And these two teams opened the season against each other in 2022. NC State was favored by 12, and it was 21-20. It was a 1-point game. Okay, Ben, you know what? Let's let this in-state rivalry cook a little more, baby. Give me all 14 of those points with the Pirates. All 14 of them. All right, I'm going to jump to some 7 p.m. stuff Thursday night in good old Akron playing Wyoming. Wyoming. Yeah. Hey, listen, I went to college in Montana. I can call it that because I know what it's like to be in Wyoming. Cowboys road favorites by 7 with that 48.5 on that total. Ben Finley is getting some hype for the Zips this year. Wyoming only had 15 sacks all year last year, and I don't know how much that's going to change. Ben Finley's certainly not going to make it any easier. I hope Finley has that home crowd. Give him something to say about that touchdown underdog stuff. Give me the Zips to cover the +7. And that 48.5 just might sneak in. I don't trust Wyoming's defense. I don't trust Akron's defense all that much either. I'm taking the ad over with Akron and Wyoming, but I'm taking Akron to cover that 7. All right. That Jacksonville State UCF game is pretty tough. I mean, 18.5. 18.5. Scott Frost led Knights going back to his little glory days, of course. And, Jacksonville State's been a bowl team in both of their Conference USA seasons so far. They already banked the Conference USA title last year. Beat down at Western Kentucky in their first ever Conference USA title game. Beat them down 52-12. So, losing to Ohio in the bowl game obviously left them a 9-5 season. And after a 9-4 2023, Charles Kelly takes over, making his debut as the head whistleblower in camp. And he got 3 starters came back on each side of the ball. It's not exactly everybody coming back and doing the rah-rah thing. There's a lot of new faces in town. And of course, he's saying we should expect to see a pass-orientated offense with Kelly and Clint Trickett as his offensive coordinator. It's weird that Clint's dad's actually the offensive line coach, too, which is cool. But Jaden Jackson, man, he's talking about the nice wide open offense scheme too under Frost, Steve Cooper, and his offensive coordinator. You know what? Both of these two teams are talking about how they're going to be opening up the offense as far as you can read. Now, what's going to happen when they actually get on the field? But with both, when I'm seeing them both say the same similar thing about opening up the offense and getting some things changed, and it's not going to be vanilla over there anymore. Okay, okay. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Scott Ross returned to UCF. Get that 2016, 2017 vibe back in Orlando. But 18 points is a lot. No, I'm just going to sit that one out. I can't. Let's get to the MAC versus Big Ten affair in Minneapolis. Minnesota Gophers hosting Buffalo. This is another time I'll ask you if you caught my preseason NCAA football team total future shows. Buffalo's getting 17.5 now. And this is a game that the Bulls want to prove that they're going to be a decent football team this year. You know, losing this game like 36-26 isn't going to be some insulting thing. I mean, the Bulls are in Big Ten country, man. Even if it's Minnesota or any Big Ten team, it's Big Ten country, and you're a MAC club. It's a big thing, man. It's a big thing. Give me Buffalo in the 17.5. That's it. That's it. Give me the Bulls to cover. Yeah, like I said, if you listen to my preseason show, you know why. All right, let's jump over to Kansas City. Speaking of Scott Frost, for a neutral site game between Nebraska and Cincinnati. Huskers favored by a touchdown. Okay, 53.5 on that total, and I have two words for you. Yes, please. I'll take Cincinnati to cover the touchdown and that over 53.5 so I can cash a pair of tickets. That's all I have to say about it. And again, if you listen to my team total show, you know my expectations on the Bearcats with Sorsby back this year. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It all starts with Nebraska, baby. So the only other game on that Thursday slate, Miami, Ohio Redhawks against the Badgers in the MAC versus Big Ten affair early in the year. 17.5 points. Oof. Can Dequan Finn produce a big season with all that experience at Toledo, despite that down year at Baylor where he didn't really get much field experience last year a few times? But, you know, when it did, it saved his eligibility, and now he has transferred to Miami, Ohio. This old line. 3 starts. 3 starts. When your offensive line has 3 combined starts. Ow. That's no good when you have Wisconsin defense returning 8 starters and the expectations on their defense going forward with Alabama on deck after that Middle Tennessee practice next week in Madison. Oh, tell you what, man, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for Miami, Ohio to get anything done there. Give me that first half -9 with the Badgers. And I think that 39.5 is a little too low, too. It's a 38-12 type of game waiting to happen. So cash that over, too. You know, cash that over. It's 38-12 Wisconsin. Like I said, give me the first half -9. I think Wisconsin will be up like 20-6, 20-10 even at the first half. Favored by 9, they'll cover that. I think, honestly, so I play from that game. And this is why I'm splitting up the week into 2 shows. We've already been here a while, and now we're just starting the Friday stuff. So expect another segment of the Throwdown Podcast on Friday, like I mentioned, for that massive slate of Saturday games, baby. Football! Who doesn't love having football back, man? Yeah! All right. I'm not going to go near that Kennesaw State game with Wake Forest. Man, 9 point. I wouldn't touch that with anything, man. It's an ugly team. Neither team has any expectations going into the year. So what the hell should I expect from 2 teams that don't expect much to happen this year? No, nothing. There's another MAC Big Ten game on Friday night. East Lansing Sparty hosting Western Michigan Broncos, favored by 3 touchdowns. Man, that total. So you're favored by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, and the total is 48.5. Okay. I'm sorry, MSU might just get all of those points. This is a 52-13 type of game waiting to happen. I don't think Western Michigan is going to slow down in Michigan State this year. Play the over 48.5. I don't care if Michigan State covers it. They're going to beat them up, obviously. I expect them to win by, like I said, 30. So, yeah, take the over 48.5 in Michigan State on Friday night. Another game I'm not going to touch is that Charlotte Appalachian State game until we see what the hell they're both doing. A lot of unknowns. A lot of unknowns. Two first-year head coaches, only two returning starters on offense for either of those, for Tim Albin or Double Logans. Oh man, I'm sorry, Double Logans and Tim Albin are in for a little what the hell's happening here kind of stuff, man. That Georgia Tech Colorado game, how much of a statement can the odds makers say when the Yellow Jackets are favored by 4.5 points in Boulder? Okay, we all know Shadur's gone. We all know Travis is gone. And most of that offense is gone in Colorado. So Georgia Tech has a lot of experience back. Haynes King under center. Jamal Hayes in that backfield. Rutherford. Rivers catching balls. Even though Haynes King was supposed to be, or thought he might be the quarterback. Yeah, Caden Salter said, yeah, no, sorry. Caden Salter was announced as the Deacons quarterback. So it's going to be interesting, man. That Liberty transfer has a lot of experience in calling the signals. So Haynes King's going to have to sit this one out. Now we're going to see more of Caden Salter, which is all right. Give me the over 52.5 in Colorado anyway. Yeah, a lot of overs this weekend. Let's slide down to Waco, Texas. Auburn and Baylor. Baylor's among the favorites to win the Big 12 this year, but they're home dogs against Auburn. Okay. So you're favored to win the Big 12, and you have a home game against an SEC team, and you're not even favorites. That doesn't really say how they're going to do in the Big 12 this year. Okay. Sawyer Robinson has his entire offense back in Waco. And what a massive turnaround David Randall pulled off. Probably saved his job last year after that late season run. I mean, after a 3-9 2023, they won a game against Tarleton State and found a way to be there for us, but they were 2-5. 2-5. So they were in trouble early, man. And that's 6-0 to end the year before the Texas Bowl loss. You know, man. I mean, it was a tough way to finish the year with LSU across the field. But that's I think I definitely think he saved his job, like end of the season with that nice season run like that, winning some games. Jackson Arnold's expected to go back to Texas. He lit up high school here. We know being home is going to have him enjoying the season opener in Texas. I mean, I saw him even talking about it. Jackson Arnold did a little preseason interview like 3-4 days ago. He's talking about, oh, I love being back here, man. I'm back in Texas. I went to high school here. I won a couple things. Won a couple things. Yeah, go look up his high school stats. How you doing? So, again, over 57. I'm taking that over 57 to start the year in this matchup. I'll just say two words again. Start off my thoughts about the situation with that UNLV game, too. Yes, please. 62.5 on that total after seeing them both play last weekend. But the offenses continue to produce. So, like I said, you should have that Auburn total with Baylor at 57. And I'm going to take that over with UNLV and Sam Houston. Yep. Let them go. 62.5's too low. That last game on the Friday night schedule has San Jose State hosting the Chippewas. Favored big by -11 as Spartans. Supposedly headed for a big Mountain West season. They're favored behind Boise to potentially win that Mountain West title game. And even good old Phil Steele says that a legit Mountain West title contender in his college football preview magazine this year. So there's that. Although the Spartans have Texas on deck next weekend in Austin, that's probably not going to go so well. But you know what? Quite a big opening game here themselves. Ohio State, Texas is, wow, it's a pretty big game in Ohio State for Texas. So they're going to be like, San Jose State next week? Yeah, thanks. So I may end up leaving that San Jose State game alone. I mean, I hope Matt Drinkle has a nice Chippewas program, turning them into something good. I mean, that dude can coach. He knows how to make an offensive line work together, obviously. He proved that with the Army team and winning the Offensive Line Joe Moore Award. So, you know what? That's it. That's it, man. That's it for the Thursday, Friday edition of the NCAA Football Throwdown Podcast. Episode 3 officially. Episode 4 will air on Friday with some Saturday action from the field for opening weekend, baby. How great is that? So somewhere around noon on Friday, you can expect my Saturday slate, all that stuff to go up there, and all this will be posted at the sportsbettingpub.net, my Spotify thing, and wherever you can find me. If you can find me, I hope you can find me. I'm trying to get my name out there, of course. And thanks for joining me. I'm EJ Gar, that Rainmaker guy, and make sure you have your umbrellas out to start the week. And I'll see you in a couple of days. All right, man. Ciao.